אני פותח את הישיבה השישית של המשפט.
Session of the trial.
בית המשפט נותן את ההחלטה.
Court will now read the following decision number 3.
אחרי הקראה.
Where the abhorrence of the judge is aroused like treason, murder, or any other serious crime. It is true that the memory of the catastrophe and the Holocaust stirs every Jew, but when this case has been brought before us, it is our duty to restrain those feelings when we sit in judgment in this case. And this duty we shall keep. After weighing all arguments brought by the counsel for the defense, the learned counsel for the defense, the court finds, and each judge finds himself fit to sit in judgment. Will you please ask the accused to rise? The accused may remove his earphones. You heard the indictment on the first day of the trial. Yes. Do you admit the first count brought against you?
Oder nicht an dem ersten Anklagepunkt? Im Sinne der Anklage nicht schuldig.
In the spirit of the indictment, I am not guilty.
Stand 6 million prosecutors.
His accomplices in the crime were neither gangsters nor men of the underworld, but leaders of a nation, including professors and scholars, robed dignitaries with academic degrees, linguists, men of enlightenment, the intelligentsia. We shall encounter them, doctors and lawyers, scholars, bankers and economists. Terrible. Do you plead guilty or not guilty to the second count?
Im Sinne der Anklage nicht schuldig.
In the spirit of the indictment, not guilty.
Check it.
Do you plead guilty or not guilty to the third count?
Im Sinne der Anklage nicht schuldig.
In the spirit of the indictment, not guilty. Plead guilty or not. Dr. Servatius' reservations regarding the competence of this court branched out to 2 sub-branches. The first regarding the circumstances whereby the accused was brought from abroad. the question of the competence of the court is concerned, we shall give in the judgment of this trial.
German-occupied territory in the Soviet Union and annexed areas.
You will hear evidence of actions which the mind of man doesn't want to believe. An inadequate picture of the calamity wide as the ocean that overtook the house of Israel.
It is no wonder that the German Foreign Ministry passed on for Eichmann's information the warning broadcast by London radio that those responsible for the murders in Auschwitz would be brought to judgment. Even on the verge of the German collapse in April 1945, in that atmosphere of the twilight of the gods, when the Allies from the east and west and south were closing in, Eichmann still told the German Red Cross man that he could not agree to the more humanitarian methods of dealing with Jews then being considered by Himmler. First the articles and valuables were taken and plundered, and then to the open grave.
To the 10th count.
Im Sinne der Anklage nicht schuldig.
In the spirit of the indictment, not guilty.
But alas, they cannot rise to level the finger of accusation in the direction of the glass dock and cry out, "J'accuse," against the man who sits there. Because their ashes have been piled up in the mounds of Auschwitz and the fields of Treblinka, or spilled into the rivers of Poland, and their graves are scattered throughout the length and breadth of Europe. Their blood cries to heaven, but their voice cannot be heard. Thus it falls to me to be their mouthpiece and to deliver the heinous accusation in their name. Yet he was the one who planned, initiated, and organized, who instructed others to spill this ocean of blood, and to use all the means of murder, theft, and torture.
He must bear the responsibility, therefore, as if it was he who with his own hands knotted the hangman's noose, who lashed the victims into the gas chambers, who shot in the back and pushed into the open pit every single one of the millions who were slaughtered. Such is his responsibility in the eyes of the law, and such is his responsibility according to every standard of conscience and morality.
As that of the million Jewish children whose blood was spilled like water throughout Europe. How they were separated by force from their mothers who tried to hide them, murdered and thrown out of trucks in the camps, torn to pieces before their mothers' eyes, their little heads smashed on the ground. These and others are the most terrible passages of the tale of slaughter.
Is it any wonder then that one of those days he said to a close assistant that he would be ready to commit suicide and that he would gladly leap into his grave after he had succeeded in exterminating 5 million Jews? In this too he may be followed in the footsteps of his master Hitler, who also said that he would die happy with the knowledge of Germany's great achievements and her contribution to history. In Kiev, within the space of only 2 days, 33,771 Jews were massacred. Throughout, the report speaks in clear and simple language of executions and extermination. The reports were received in Berlin, and Eichmann was able to keep a continuous check on the bloody work in the East, where the number of killings mounted from tens to hundreds of thousands. I have already mentioned Eichmann's visit to Minsk and Lvov, where he saw with his own eyes the operations of the murderers. But we have already seen why Eichmann rejected the system of direct murder. The SS men themselves began to grumble. Eichmann considered that the methods used turned people into sadists, while others said that it was not an elegant way of killing. It was then that the gas vans were delivered, and these were camouflaged in various ways. From the summaries of the exterminations in these districts, covering a period of 8 months, during 1941 to 2, we obtained the terrible total of over 720,000 Jews murdered.